Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another super exciting episode of the Kuilei Courageous Conversations. I am Sheldon from KCC.
And I am Alfie, also from KCC.
And usually it's just you and I, Alfie, but we have a third very special guest with us today.
Yeah.
So how do we introduce her? Do we have trumpets or
I don't. We're very low tech and low cost, so we don't have like sound effects kind of things. So yeah. Sheldon, you're the drummer. You have something, I'm sure. Oh, there you go.
We have Amy Shiroma.
Yay!
Wow! Wow! The applause is deafening.
Yeah.
This is so exciting. Hey guys, so happy to be here. Thanks for letting me tag along.
It's super exciting. I mean, like I said, it usually but it's usually Alfie and I, and I think he and I can talk nonsense for hours and then forget that we have, someone in the room waiting for us. So having a third person who's willing to talk nonsense with us.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna go for like 10 hours before.
Yeah.
We introduce the guest.
I already blocked off my week for this. I'm ready. Let's do it.
So Amy, what do you do at Kapiolani Community College?
I teach. I'm an instructor in our hospitality and tourism education department. And the best department on campus. Yeah, a deafening applause again. Yeah, very good. But so we have two degree programs in our hospitality tourism ed program. We have our airline and travel program that Kuma Rosalie leads, and I teach in the hospitality operations program, which is the hotel operations management courses.
Rumor has it you worked in the hotel industry once before.
I did. That was my first career. So Dr. Evans in our department likes to say, well, Amy spent 27 years in our hotel business. It makes me feel so old.
Oh, so you were working since you was like 15 then?
Since I was 5. Yeah, we don't want to give away my age. But yeah, so I spent 27 years in hotel careers. The last half of that with Marriott and in the timeshare division of resort ops. So that was super fun. Lots of stories.
All in Hawaii.
Yeah, I made that decision early that I worked in the industry because it was Hawaii and because we were about Hawaiian culture. So I didn't. There were opportunities to go to the to the mainland, but I didn't want to. I wanted to work in Hawaii. So I worked on Kauai and Maui and Oahu. Did some training on Hawaii Island, but loved it. Loved
super cool
moving around Hawaii.
So transitioning to become an instructor, I'm sure you meet like hundreds of students. So what was that transition like?
Oh, it was major transition. Major transition. Like I've never taught. I mean, I was a trainer with Marriott, but I've never taught a class or, I didn't know those academic terms. So when I interviewed, I was asked, what is your pedagogy?
Is that a pet?
I don't know. I stared at the chancellor and I said,
"Is that
I don't have
food
a pet
dish?"
Wow. Wow. I would really answer that question if I knew what that was. I thought, oh my God, now I'm not going to get hired. But I have been doing some guest speaking with Dr. Evans's class on timeshare management, and there was an opportunity to come here and join the team, and so I did. And it was like a shock, but it was fun. And so seeing our students, because it's a associate's degree program, wow, they go through so quickly, and then they get jobs, and then they become successful, and now they're managers or supervisors or leads in our industry. And it's so much fun to see the growth and development and know that, oh, maybe I had a part to play in their development for their career. So I find it really rewarding. And then all of those years of hotel work coming into the classroom with stories and experiences, I think just makes the learning environment so much fun.
Wow. Speaking of hotel stories, I just came off a week of camping. Okay, so and when I'm hearing hotels, that was probably one of the first thing I was thinking about while I was camping. So I want to be in a hotel.
Wish I
Like
had a
I'm
bathroom.
without a bathroom. I'm tired of hearing bugs. But have there been what's like a wacky hotel story that you have? Like for us in camping, it's like, oh, I wake up, there's this blue centipede in my cup holder today.
Ew, nasty. Oh, a wacky. There's so many. There's so many wacky stories. But okay, I can tell you a wacky story. I was working on Maui, and there was I was a manager on duty, and there was a call, help, help, help. And so the operator goes, oh my gosh, Amy, somebody's yelling help in the phone, and this is the room that they're in, and I don't know what's happening. So I run up there with security to the guest room. It's the middle of the day, and I run up to the room, and it's a honeymoon couple, husband and wife, and they're having a domestic argument, and they have thrown beer bottles at each other.
Oh no.
And the husband has a big gash in his head, and he's like, oh, I'm bleeding, I'm gonna die. And there was a lot of blood coming out of his head. They were super drunk. And the wife was like, oh my God, my husband's gonna die. Please save him. The security officer that ran up with me goes, blood. Boom. And then he faints.
Oh.
Because he could.
The security officer fainted.
It was like a cartoon. All of a sudden, my security officer falls over. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm on the radio. Oh, please send someone else. I need someone to bring towels up here. Anyway, it just escalates and escalates. So he's got his towel in his head. We had to call the paramedics, who then called the police because it sounded like a domestic situation. It was just so funny, because the police came in and said, hey, what's going on? Do you want to press charges against your husband? And the lady's like, of course not. He's my husband. And then she turns around and whacks the police officer, who then throws her in cuffs. And, because she hit the police officer. I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So anyway, they haul the couple off. There's all this blood everywhere. My security officer comes too. And I'm like, Henna, are you okay? He goes, oh, did I miss anything? I'm like, you missed all the action. And then like half an hour later, I get a call from Maui Police Department. They want me to help them bail them out. So I had to go get their money from their safe and take it to the police department. And yeah, it was pretty funny. But yeah, that was pretty funny. But the blood gushing and the security officer fainting, that was just something out of Bugs Bunny.
So interesting segue. Alfie had this great idea to highlight our students. What a concept. Anyway, it was super brilliant, because I think the original idea of this podcast was to highlight all the cool things Kapiolani Community College has to offer. And, of course, right in front of us, it's our students who make this campus shine.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree on that. Woo-hoo. So today, we have our student. We have a student with us who, and correct me if I'm wrong, we just learned that he's graduating soon.
Yes.
Yeah, soon.
If all goes well and he passes Amy's class, I think he should be graduating soon, right?
But
no pressure.
But after Amy's story, which is kind of close to Halloween, maybe our student's going to be thinking twice about
No, he's not.
No, you will finish. But anyway, let's give a round of applause for our student guest today, Jim.
Yay!
Jim.
Everyone.
Jim, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe where you went to high school, what your degree is in, what you're doing nowadays. Tell us about yourself.
I gotcha. Aloha, everyone that's listening. My name is Jim Gabriel Vergara. I was born and raised here on the island of Oahu, in a small town that's not really small, but named Kalihi, in the heart of Kalihi.
All right.
Yes.
My alumni. Oh, alumni. My
Yeah.
my high school. um, little hint is maroon and white. So the Frankton Governors.
Yeah, go Cubs!
Hey,
Woohoo. Mhm.
Um, for me,
watch
uh,
out, Jim, because Alfie went to Damien.
Yeah, I
ah,
went. Yeah, I went to the other division of Farrington, Farrington North. So yes,
our sister school.
yes,
Yeah,
Right
there
yeah,
you
down the
yeah,
go.
yeah.
block.
This
There
is
you
just there
go.
you go.
For like Miss Amy mentioned, I'm in the hospitality and tourism program, but I'm not in either or. I'm in both sectors. So
Oh.
it's double concentration, I believe, of the hotel operations management and travel and tourism operations.
In fact, so I know, sorry, we did a little bit of digging and we noticed that while you're in high school, Jim, you took college courses while at Farrington.
Ooh, yes.
Tell us about that.
So I think my first college class was sophomore year in the fall.
Wow.
I took two.
Wow, sophomore
I took
year.
Yeah.
Sociology 100
Who's the
and History
nerd?
150. But I after learning about college classes, I was like, it's free. Like, you're not
Mhm.
joking, it's free. And
Yep.
they're like, yeah, you can take it. If you take early college classes, you can take out credits for high school graduation.
Mm,
So I was like, it's a win-win
mm.
essentially. So I took those two, and then I think the following semester, I took speech 151, and then I did uh like just the prerequisites. So I think English 100 as well.
Mhm.
But
Wow.
I'm so thankful I did that, because if I didn't take those like prereqs, I don't think I would be graduating this early.
Mm.
Mm, mhm,
Mhm,
mhm.
So I know high school is organized by academies.
mhm.
And so what academy were you a part of at Farrington?
So we got to choose our academies in the eighth grade years to transition.
Mm.
My my heart at that time, I was so sad. Like I think all my middle school teachers, they can like hear me sing like, "Oh yeah, I'll go into law." Like my heart was just like I told everyone I'm gonna graduate at I think it was New York Columbia School of Law, and
Mm.
then I wanted to be a medical lawyer. And
Oh.
Oh
then
wow.
uh, Frankton, they took out the law academy at that time. So I was like,
Uh-huh.
I guess the closest thing would be business.
Mm.
But then freshman year, like we had like these required classes,
Mhm.
and my heart just like flipped. I was like, this is something that aligns with my like values a little bit more. I
Mhm.
was like, screw the medical lawyer. Bye. I think this will make me more happier. And then I think I dig myself like deeper
Mm.
into the business field. I was like, okay, this is what I want.
Huh. What class was it that helped solidify that?
I think it was like it was just the intro to business class. So they
Mm.
showed us everything like marketing, financing, and then over the years you take marketing, financing, like just the class itself. But then I wasn't really interested in that business sector.
Mm.
I think once it was my senior year, I took a entrepreneurship class, and it was like a hospitality class. I was like, now this is what I like.
Huh.
Like I like numbers, but like accounting, ooh, no thanks. I'll gladly pass.
So you're thinking about business. Like what? Now in high school, what were you thinking of? What type of business were you thinking of getting into or running?
So for my entrepreneurship class, we had to make like I think it was like any type of food establishment, and I
Mhm.
decided to do like a food truck.
Oh.
So back then, my like goal after high school was get like a business degree and see if I can make like a local style food truck.
Mm.
Mhm.
But then it was incorporating like um all the Asian cultures with Hawaiian culture.
Mhm.
So you got like your lao lao, you got your lokomoko,
Mm.
but then there's like a Japanese touch and then Filipino culture as well. Because I saw that most of our like Hawaii is built off of tourism.
Mhm.
So I was like, who are like our number one guests visiting? And it was like Japanese culture, Asian culture, and I wanted to cater to them. So
Mhm.
that was my project at that time.
Nice. I'm so glad you didn't use that project for your assignment.
Amy's taking notes.
All from scratch. All from scratch. I promise.
So,
So
did
then-
you?
Okay.
So go ahead. Sorry,
Question.
sorry. No, go ahead.
No. So now you're in your now you have like this new pathway, I guess you could say, a new dream. And then how did that lead to KCC?
Mm. So it all started with a call from HCC. So they were like, "Hi,
Oh.
this is blah 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 from the HCC like I think like counseling department or like the
Mhm.
acceptance."
Mhm.
And then they were like, "Congratulations, you got in, blah blah blah. What do you want to major?" And I was like, "Oh, I wanted to major in business, but specifically maybe the hospitality side." And they were like, "Oh, that's great. I'll transfer you to KCC because there's a hospitality program." I was like, "Oh, what's that? What's that?" And I didn't know at the time that HCC was more of like a liberal arts and engineering school.
Hmm.
I was like, "Oh, okay." I was very skeptical at the time. I was like, "KCC? I gotta drive all the way there." But
So far.
once I started, I was like, "Okay, this is." Oh, and then that led to I think it was like a meeting with Miss Cheryl, our counselor,
Mhm.
and then she went over the program. I was like, "Oh, I want to take this class. Oh, this class sounds interesting.
Huh.
Oh, English 100, I don't care. Maybe this class."
Mhm.
Thank you, HCC.
Thank you. So you mentioned the distance, and
Mhm.
I used to live in Kalihi. My dad's born and raised, and there was a time where I was visiting Farrington quite a bit, and that was a statement that came up quite a bit. Like they wanted to check out Kapiolani, but it was far, right? So then I thought, okay, you know what? I'm gonna try catch the bus to get an idea of what far means. So having lived in Kalihi, I just left my car at home, jumped on the bus, went from School Street near Tasty Chop Suey.
Mhm.
That's where I used to live, and then just caught the bus to KCC, and it was long. It was long,
Mhm.
and so
Well,
what
how long was that ride?
I'd say a little over an hour one way,
Wow.
because that's to make all the stops too, right? And then you're going through downtown, and then you have to go through like University, through parts of Kaimuki, and then you make your way to Kapiolani. And so I as a car driver, I took a ton of things for granted, and so that just I appreciate things a lot more because of that bus ride. So Jim, when you are making that commute from Kalihi to Kapiolani, what was that like? What did you have to push through?
I think most of it's based off of time management
Mm,
because like let's see, oh, for my first in-person semester was spring 22, I believe.
mm,
So my first class in the morning was Kumu Rosalie's class, which is a airline reservation class. And it was a long class from like 9 to 12, I believe. So I'm usually a morning person, so I wake up early, but it doesn't mean that I'll get ready. I'll do all my morning stuff. I'll eat breakfast. I'll go on my phone, and then I like to. Okay, it's kind of a bad habit, but I feel like the students listening, like they have something similar. So
uh-huh.
I play a game with myself. So if my class is at 9,
Okay.
my game is what's the latest time I can leave to get
Oh,
there
yeah.
on time. So I gotta take into calculation like traffic, actually
Uh-huh.
walk into my car, getting ready. And then I think the latest I ever left was I was pushing it. It was like maybe like 8:40. So
Oh,
pedal to the metal,
Wow.
20 minutes to get to
oh,
school in morning traffic. And I was late, so I never I never pushed my time after that. But yeah, just the time management portion of like, okay, so if your class is at 9, you should leave the house like let's say like 8 minimum, like an hour. So that means you have to get ready by like 7. And then like you should be almost done by like 7:30. Kind of like that.
huh.
That's wisdom.
Trial
Actually,
and
that
error. Trial and error.
actually that's not even advice just for students. That's actually for adults as well.
That's what
Just
I was
putting
thinking.
it out there. Yeah,
That's okay. I still play that game.
yeah, I know.
And I
It's not a
still
fun-
lose.
I know. I keep losing this game. What's wrong?
So your professor Amy had shared that you just had a wonderful background, a wonderful story. If you don't mind sharing your journey, because I see from the academic side, straight A's, you are doing amazing.
Thank you.
So really,
Wow.
congratulations. And
Wow.
um, tell me, like, you're going to be graduating in 2024. Like, how did you get to this point? Straight A's, close to graduating. Like, do you work as well during school?
Yes.
Yeah, tell us about that.
So my work schedule is hectic.
Mm.
So this semester I go to school every day, from Monday to Friday. And then throughout the week, the weekdays, so at the moment I'm a shift supervisor at a coffee shop,
Mm.
and it's nearby school. So I wake up at the crack of dawn, well earlier. So like let's say 4 o'clock a.m.
Oh,
Rise and shine.
ooh.
And then I get ready. I get to work around like the morning time. I open my store. I once like I have like a relief, I go to school,
Mm.
attend my classes, and then afterwards it's hit the books. So I go home, eat some brunch, and then study. And then
Mm.
I have like personal hobbies that I like to do. So I try to implement like mental health.
Mm.
I learned in so I'm a part of the Luna Lilo scholarship program,
All
which I like to
right.
highlight.
Mm-hmm.
They give me like a chance to actually connect with people that on a personal level. Like my anxiety, which walking into college was about finance.
Mm.
Mm.
So that was my like main concern. So I was like, "Ah, like, am I even college worth or like college ready?"
Mm.
And then the program helped me to be like, okay, I can actually see in a different perspective. So balancing like time management, work, myself, family, um, like I'm not gonna sugarcoat. It's actually
Mm.
like it's a very bumpy road. Like
Mm.
you have your highs, you have your lows,
Mm.
but every day you just gotta keep pushing because I feel like most people in my generation, like um, they know where they want to go. Like they
Mm.
see the finish line, but they don't know how to get it. Like they always they see the start, they see the finish, but they don't see the middle.
Mm.
So I'm trying to focus on the details and work the middle part. So in time I get to the finish line.
And just to put things in perspective for the listeners out there, Jim is actually taking 5 classes and a
Mm.
lab.
Oh.
Oh,
5 classes in a lab, working, that what we're finding out, and
Mm.
still, personal hobbies that you all need to do. So, kudos and props to you, Jim. But, I guess, how do you go? How do you do that? How do you, I guess for everyone out there, it's like time management's a thing. So, how do you do it, man?
for um for our lab, it's a part of the Lino Lilo scholarship program. So they help us with like um like time management and just intro to college. Although this is my second year, I felt very like out of place. I was like, do I belong in the program?
Mm.
But they like a shout out to Miss Lavashe. She helped me to like um she helped me establish my anxieties. Oh, and the peer mentors. They help a lot too. So from a student and a faculty perspective, they help me like meet halfway to actually see like even though you have like XYZ on your plate, it's it's human. It's human. Like everyone's going through their own agenda. Everyone has their own battles, but it doesn't mean that you have to be alone. So that was like very appreciative. And then we have like a planner, and then I like to do I it's a recent habit. I bought a lot of post-it notes. So every week I put my assignments, so by class, and then the due date. So I look at the my planner, my post-its, and then it's a recent trend online too. If you go on your Google spreadsheets, you can put all your assignments at, so the first week is hectic week of like a new semester. I
Mm.
grab all of my syllabi, put all my assignments, put their due dates on, and then I check it off by when I finish it. So I can see if I'm running behind or not.
That is
Nice.
amazing.
But
That's
it's kind of
cool.
hectic too. You get
But with
physical and get tech, but it's okay.
the post-its, you can like take them off and crumple them up and throw them away. So then it's like a tangible feeling of I'm done with that.
Sense of satisfaction. Yeah.
Yeah. Or for me, it would be like there's so many post-its still up on the wall.
Never
Or-
ending, up and down.
Why
Or
am
you
I
move- you
adding
move the-
more?
Yeah.
or you move the post-it. I didn't do it today. I'll do it this day.
So, a question for Amy: when you see your students going through just juggling a whole lot, what's your takeaway? Just coming from a instructor's perspective, when you see students such as Jim just kind of plowing through life balance, managing his day well, what's your thoughts?
Well, I think for me, and one of the reasons why I offered Jim's name to you for the podcast was it's stories like Jim's story that's very inspiring and motivating for me as an instructor. When I went to college, I just went to college. I just went to classes. Later in my years in college, I worked part-time, but it was just school. And so in our environment, so many of our students are working full-time and coming to college, and they're driven to finish and succeed through all the adversity that they have to deal with. And some of our students are their elder siblings, and they're taking care of their younger siblings. They're taking care of grandma and grandpa at home. Plus, they're working and they're going to school and they're doing well. And I'm inspired by that, to be so young, to be driven, and to have the commitment and dedication to get it done is inspiring. And I think that's phenomenal. For me as an instructor, it's really made me have more grace in the way that I look at each student's situation individually, right? And honor, our syllabi all say no extensions, but understanding each student's perspective and situation that they're in, and having grace for the balance that they have to do, whether it's offering extra tutoring or extra help outside of class for those that get called into work, or have to take care of 3 siblings at home because mom and dad are not available. So so Jim's story is inspiring because he's juggling this work and he's doing so well, and he contributes and he takes initiative, and he has goals. When Jim said I'd like to be an operations manager one day, I was like, yeah, that's awesome, right? So for me, from the industry perspective, it's really motivating to see a student who's so excited about the future.
Yeah, just his word choice too, and the energy behind it. You feel that he found his path. Yeah. Is that safe to say, Jim?
Yes, thank you.
So just double checking with Amy. So you're saying you're not going to lighten up on the assignments, correct? I got your back, Jim.
Trying to get you extra credit, Jim.
Yeah, go here, go, Jim.
But Jim's got a fabulous restaurant concept coming together for our class. So if you got $1 million to invest in Jim's future restaurant, it sounds like it's going to be great.
Can he share that?
Sure, you should. I think it's a great idea.
I gotcha. So for Miss Amy's class, I have her for post 154. It's a food in restaurant.
Duck points. Got a duck points. Oh no.
Jim, go like this, Jim. We're gonna cancel. We're gonna stop the podcast.
Food and beverage
Food and
operations
beverage.
management.
There you go. And then for our semester project, we're building like a restaurant. So we just finished part 1 and part 2. So for my restaurant, I called it Taste of Ilocos. So it's a Filipino family culture-based restaurant. But when you think of Filipino, most people think of Metro Manila and like the Tagalog side. But no one really understands like the provinces and the other languages, like the Ilocano region, Cebuano, Visayan, Mindanao, Luzon. So My family is Ilocano, so I wanted to highlight both Ilocano culture and food. And then I just finished up my menu. Well, it's
Oh.
temporary. So for my Filipino listeners, let's see if you guys know what I'm talking about.
This is a quiz on you, Alfie. You gotta know
Oh,
this.
man.
You gotta know this,
No.
Alfie.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
Oh
Let's see,
no.
let's see.
Oh, all the pressure on me. We'll stop the
Let's-
podcast.
So for appetizers, you get a selection of vegetable lumpia. For the meat lovers lumpia, fish
Mm.
balls, and calamari or empanada as your choice.
Oh,
And then
I'll,
for my
I'll take,
operation,
I'll take them all.
yeah, buy each one,
Yeah,
rack
buy
up
each
your
one.
bill.
Yeah, yeah.
And then for Taste of Ilocos, my inspiration was like, so I used to work at Cam Shopping Center, and then I always saw kids. It's Kilihi is known for all their surrounding school districts.
Mhm.
Specifically, Cam, you get, I think it's Kapalama, you get
Mhm.
Damien. Oh, you got Damien,
Mhm.
you got Kamehameha, you
Mhm.
got Dole, you got Kalakaua, you got Frankton. Everyone's hungry after school,
Mhm.
so they flock to Cam Shopping Center, and then I always see them like they eat the same thing. They eat McDonald's, they get Liu's Chop Suey, they eat Pandas, they eat Subway, which isn't bad, but I didn't like how it wasn't as nutritional as you can say. Like
Not local.
it's basically it's
Mm.
all oil,
Mm.
which isn't bad, but like eat your vegetables, So my
Bring back
operation,
Kenny's Burger House.
but it's kind of like Panda and Subways into one.
Mm.
So you can choose like a bowl, a plate, a bigger plate, and the selection of food items. There's vegetables involved, but it's not as like oily or highly processed as let's say like fast food like McDonald's. It's more cooked to order, and then you actually see the ingredients fresh right in front of you. So Panda style, you get to choose
Right.
like a side and an entree.
Mm.
So my sides were garlic fried rice, pancit
Yum.
canton, pancit
Pancit.
bihon.
Ooh,
Mm.
both.
So pop quiz, what is the difference between pancit canton or pancit bihon?
Ooh.
Oh,
Come on,
Alfie, come on
Alfie.
now.
Wait. Wait, hold
I
on,
know
time
the
out.
Okay,
answer.
One is glass noodle and one is
Uh-huh.
not.
Yes. So pancit
Eh.
bihon is the thinner
wait,
one.
wait a minute. He gets a point on that?
Yeah, there's different types of pancit. Glass noodle and non-glass noodle.
The canton is the thicker one.
And every family has a different way of making pancit too.
Yes.
Yes. And
Every family's
yeah.
like, my pancit's better. No,
Yes.
I know, Auntie, my pancit's better.
Yeah.
What if everyone's pancit's good? Okay.
I like the
let's call
pancy
it white
pancit.
flag.
That's what
I
I
know,
like. The pancy
pancit.
pancit.
It's very pansy pancit. Yes.
Too fancy.
Yeah, too pansy.
And then for entrees,
Uh-huh.
let's see if you know any. So bed, that's like a
Okay. Yep.
vegetable
Mhm.
soup. Chicken adobo or pork adobo. What's your
Mm.
favorite?
Are you
Out of
asking me
the two.
personally?
Yes.
Chicken.
Okay, we gotta win. We gotta win. And then
Depends on
these
how much vinegar
ones-
you put.
honestly,
That's
vinegar
right.
braised.
Yeah, it's the vinegar.
There's porky santes. It's like a pork and peas dish.
Mhm.
This one I got a lot of feedback from my classmates. I called it Dina Daraan in Ilocano culture, but people know it as Diniguan.
Dinuguan?
Oh, yes.
So a subtle difference. And its nickname is chocolate meat. It's
The chocolate meat. The
it
chocolate
is not
meat.
chocolate. It's
Pop
pork
quiz, it's not chocolate.
blood.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
the blood meat. Yeah.
Yes, the blood meat.
I
Yeah.
am
and then
familiar.
beef caldereta.
It's
Oh, you should see them making it. That's a different story.
Mm.
That's an adventure.
And then lastly, for desserts, for my sweet treats, the first one is puto. For my
Mhm.
Spanish
The little
descent,
roasting, yeah.
it's not what you're thinking of. Okay, it's not what you're thinking of. Puto is a sweet and fluffy Filipino like rice cake dessert.
Cake, yeah.
So it's not the other word that you're
Oh.
thinking.
Mhm.
Sumang, it's like a rice cake. Like it's like wrapped in coconut banana leaves.
Mhm.
Very sweet. and then everyone's favorite.
Yeah, we like to dip that in sugar.
Yeah, condensed milk.
Yeah, condensed milk. Yeah.
Huh.
And then everyone's favorite, the halo halo mix.
Ooh.
Oh, is that
there
what
you go.
halo halo means? Mix.
Halo is like
It's like the
it's
Filipino
like to mix it
milkshake.
together.
Ah.
That's why it's like I think it's some Filipinos' pet peeves when people just eat the toppings just like that. They
Oh,
don't mix it all together.
But it's so pretty. That's why
Yeah.
I didn't know
Exactly,
that
yeah.
you're supposed to mix it
Yeah.
all up.
Yeah.
I mix up most of it, but I like the leche flan at home.
Oh
On top.
yeah.
That's the best part.
I feel bad now. I've been eating my halo halo wrong.
You've
I've
been
just
eating
been
back
doing
by
the ha.
layers.
Not the halo halo, just the ha.
You can eat it like a pro on your next one. It's okay.
Yum.
Mhm.
Yum. So if you have $1 million, you can invest in Jim's Taste of Ilocos.
One day, who knows?
For
Might
any
fall back.
listeners out there.
Yes.
Opening soon at Kamehameha Shopping Center.
Yes. Next to Kenny's Burger House.
Where was that, by the way? Kenny's. Was that?
It's where
Where?
McDonald's. No.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, Kenny's restaurant, right? And then
Mhm.
was right next to it, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
the-
petition.
It was like I believe it was like, well, at the time it was like a 29-cent cheeseburger, or it was
Ooh.
something ridiculous. Yeah.
The crinkle fries.
Yes.
I think college students want that back.
So Jim, I mean, spring 2024 is next semester,
Holy smokes. Right around the corner.
right around the corner.
Like
What is your plans
70.
after graduation?
So, well, there's many opportunities. So I have a meeting this week for our certificate program. So that's our like host 300 level classes.
Oh,
And then there's another option of going to either UH West Oahu or UH Tim.
Mm.
But I'm
Mm.
looking more into West Oahu because
Mhm.
most of our credits go to them.
Yep.
And then, or taking just a gap year just to go into the field just to see how I like it in either sector.
in your family, siblings,
Yes.
are you the first in your family to go to college?
I think I'm first generation, but my sister was the first one.
Right
graduate.
on, right on. So how much older is your sister?
I would guess maybe 6 years older than me.
Okay.
Not too bad.
So when you saw your sister go through college,
Mhm.
what was that like?
Well, her final year was pandemic year, so she was on the computer. But
Mm,
then when she would come back from school, like from study session, it wasn't too bad.
Mm.
She was a public health major,
mm.
so it was pretty good. So she's the health side of our Filipino family. I'm the business. But I always wanted to go to UH, but I think I wanted to end like the stigma of like the idea of community colleges, because
Mm.
for my graduation year, I was very surprised. Most of us went to either community colleges, stayed home for university, military, or straight into the field like trade schools.
Mm.
I was like, it was actually pretty balanced. But prior to that, like from middle school, we were always taught like, oh, you should go to university instead of community college. Community college is like your last resort.
Mm.
But community college, like feedback from my peers, we're happy that we took this route first, because you're not only just saving money, but it gives you a chance to be comfortable in your own skin before you go into the big university. And like it's easier to transfer your credits from, well, in a UH system, it's easier. So it gives you more opportunities to grow.
Wow. Wow. That was
should
an
put-
awesome answer, Jim.
That's going to be playing forever on our KCC front page.
That's awesome. And happy to hear.
So right now so it's October 2023. We are in the fall semester, and actually Alfie and I would say Amy too, we are out and about in the community, talking about Kapiolani, this one evening, Amy and I were at Waianae High School talking to families. Tomorrow we go to Lelehua. Alfie just came back from Kaiser High School. Tomorrow we also go to Kalani. At the end of on Friday we go to Farrington. Next week we have the huge college fair at the convention center, and so it's the people you see in this room are really trying to increase awareness about what Kapiolani Community College has to offer. If you were in a classroom of high school seniors, what would you say to them as far as those who are on the fence of going to a community college?
And it's very ironic because I do have a Farrington outreach event this month scheduled. But when I do talk to them, I just wanted to have like a slideshow and everything and activities for them from past experiences. Nice. So like I set it up as like an icebreaker, and then most of the things I learned from I had like a summer bridge program with Honolulu this previous summer. And then we talked about like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, needs versus wants, and learning styles. And I want to show them that information, because when I was learning it in class, I was like, wow, I wish I had this prior to college. So if I can have that positive impact to the seniors firsthand, to understand like, hey, that's like, if hopefully for me, it clicks in their head, like, oh, that's why I do XYZ, or that's how I'm able to succeed. So when I talk to them, I think my biggest advice for like community college, it's just depending on what you can or cannot handle. So if you have this big goal in mind, I'll talk to them about focusing on the details, look in the middle on how to get there, instead of just, I want to graduate at UH, I want to graduate with this degree. The question is how? So working one-on-one with them and say, your goals are big. Yes, they're manageable. You can achieve them, but you need to work on how to get there. And I think Kapiolani or any of our community colleges in our system is perfect for you.
So you know how you're saying that from middle school, the message was always, attend the large universities, go to Manoa, and nothing against those institutions. How do you convince them? Like you talked about the how, and sounds like through your summer bridge program, and even the presentations that you're doing out in the community, you talk about values, you talk about really knowing yourself. How do you convince someone who is so set on going to those larger colleges, and maybe just maybe are lacking the full picture of what it means to be a college student, but again, in their mind, they were told I have to go to this larger university. Like, how would you change their mind?
Well, hopefully, since it's coming from like a student to student feedback, they're able to know that I've been in their shoes, that I understand their anxieties, their like what they're like thinking about. And then because when we had like college fairs in middle school and high school, it was always like I think it was like an older adult, like past like retired. They're always like, you should do this. They don't explain why. They don't interact with us. They don't everyone has their different learning styles. For me personally, I like hands-on. So when I would attend those like lectures per se, I would zone out because it's required. It's like they're a guest, so I have to listen. But they never connect with us in a one-to-one relationship. But having the chance to actually talk to them and like show them like my routes and routes and like where I've been, they'll be like, oh, he experiences the same things as me. He done the same things as me. I can, whatever I'm doing now, whatever's on my plate, I can accomplish that and move forward.
Amazing.
Yeah. And that's why we're doing this. I mean, this particular podcast, because I think the student voice is very, very important, and you send Sheldon, me, or Amy out to the high schools. Yeah, well, we'll talk story, but the fact that it's someone who probably just graduated from high school, who's kind of going through that experience and sending them back to kind of talk story about their experiences, and it's like, wow, like you said, I this person is exactly like me, you know, they're like me, so maybe this person does know what they're talking about. And you put me and Sheldon there, like, who are these guys?
And I got white hair, and so even more so, I have no clout whatsoever. So I'm that old dude that you're referring to. That anyway. No, but Jim, your information is amazing because you're 100% correct. So when Alfie and I do campus tours, we love it when we love it when our scholars lead the group, because they can tell them from personal experiences that's more recent, more relevant, of the sacrifices they've made, the successes they have experienced, how to talk to teachers. It's so wonderful to have peer leaders. It's so great.
Nothing like the student voice, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, awesome.
So as we wrap up today, any final words, those in the gallery, any final thoughts, any final statements, questions?
For me, for all the listeners, no matter your age demographic, you can be like young, you're like still in school, elementary, middle school, high school, to my fellow college students or like the adults listening, my number one advice that I've learned on my journey is, it's kind of like a weird. So it's called being comfortable, being uncomfortable, I believe. So when the first time I heard that, I was like, what? That don't make sense. That don't make sense. You speaking English or what? And then it actually came from my leadership advisor. So she was like, yeah, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. I was like, Miss, I don't understand what you're talking about. I can't, what are you saying? And she's like, you'll know what I'm saying once you experience it. And she's right. So if you stay in that little bubble of protection all your life, you're not going to experience the new stuff. So, for example, I think fall 22, I was all asynchronous because I had the anxiety of like, oh, I don't want to meet people. I don't want to interact with everyone. But then I was forced to do spring 22 in person because that's when everything was opening up. All the establishments were. And then I got to talking to, like, even though the classes were still small, I talked to everyone. I try to like interact with everyone to the best of my abilities, join programs, join clubs, and being uncomfortable helped me get comfortable with them. So without those experiences, I wouldn't be where I am today with so I'm in the Luna Lido Scholarship Program, and then I'm in our Gear Up program as well at KCC.
Nice. Yes.
So those two programs helped me to get out of my comfort zone.
I guess I'm speechless because that's the message I think every student needs to hear. I think that's the action every student needs to make. I think he's so right about being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Comfortable, yes. Tongue twister, yes.
It is a tongue twister.
That's wisdom.
Big time.
Yeah.
Is there any? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Amy.
Can I tag on to something that Jim said earlier about the HCC counselor referring him over to us here at Kapiolani? And I'm so grateful for students like Jim who found their way to us. And our students are our best advocates for our program, and I know Jim will be an advocate for our hospitality and tourism ed program here. But we're so excited to be able to provide, an associate's degree program for our students here on Oahu who are interested in pursuing hospitality and tourism for their careers, and that we can offer an advanced professional certificate program, which we're tapping Jim on the shoulder to see if he'll join us in our third year program, and that all of our credits do segue over, to University of Hawaii West Oahu for a bachelor's degree. And it's been even more rewarding for us to see our students graduate with their bachelor's degrees from from West Oahu. And in the short time that we've run this program, it's been over 21, 22, I think now, folks who finished our program and also finished the bachelor's program. But the quality of students that we have, like Jim, that are working, that are getting involved in programs that better themselves individually, and then becoming really prosperous and successful graduates is the greatest reward for all of us. And so I'm proud of Jim, and I wish you the best as you move forward. Just thanks for sharing and choosing us. We're so happy.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your story about just what it means to be a student. I mean, how you're saying, do I belong? Am I college ready? You're so ready. I think your energy, you're ready from the start. And I believe your message really needs to be heard by a lot of students, because I think there are a bunch. I mean, Alfie and I go to the high schools quite a bit. And I think there's a lot of students who have that same feeling where it could be out of their league or it's not for them, whatever messaging is going through their mind. And then to say that, I'm also working. I also got to do this and that to make it work, and to be very honest to say the road is rough, but you reach out to your resources, you get involved, you communicate your needs, and you then surround yourself by people who are going to lift you up. Because I think for a lot of our students, they feel they have to muscle through this journey by themselves, but they don't have to. You really don't.
I think also it's about finding your fit. It's finding your fit. Now, as Sheldon mentioned, we go out, we interact with a lot of students, and fortunately, so yes, kudos and props to Honolulu CC for helping Jim find his fit because of the programs that we offer here at KCC. Now, down the line, I have this one student whose fit was not with us at KCC, whose fit was actually at Honolulu CC, and we will make sure that we will interview her. Which right around the corner too, I believe. So yes, it's finding your fit, and once you find your fit, that's when you start to thrive. And as what's happening in Jim's case. So it's awesome. Thank you, Jim. Really appreciate you taking time to talk story with us. This was amazing, honestly.
This is amazing, Jim. Thank you so much. Any shout outs to anyone at Farrington? I can forward this. Mr. Honda.
Mr. Honda.
Oh yeah. Okay. I didn't want to say it, but you kind of remind me, Mr. Honda.
Oh no!
I'm Regan.
Oh boy!
Mr. Honda's gonna be so upset.
I think maybe my business department, the business academy.
Okay.
I think, and then my leadership advisor. Her name is Miss Teresa Schubert.
All right.
That's how I got into like I didn't know I wanted to be in associates, the student body government, and then boom, I'm in there.
There you go.
That's how I got all my hands-on experience, and like I got all that experience. Like I was known as like the MC guy, like the speakers, the music.
I see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. All right. Well, thank you, MC Jim. We appreciate you. We wish you the best of luck. But it sounds like you just have so many great things ahead of you. Name of your restaurant again? Taste of Ilocos. What was it again?
Taste of Ilocos.
Taste of Ilocos.
Yes. And because of Jim, I have to brush up on my own language and culture.
Yeah, you need to go back to Eva Beach, maybe.
Go back to our roots. Oh boy.
You gotta eat all the Filipino food.
Gotta eat
all the food.
All right. Thanks, Jim. Appreciate you.
Yeah, awesome.